Welcome everyone. This is Microsoft Excel Module 3 and the end of Module Project 1. And it is entitled the Hargrove Home Improvement. So we have opened up EOM 3-1 and I'm going to save it as a 2. Bearing in mind I've already done this, so I'll just select it here and choose to replace. So we're good there. And of course, I'm going to check to make sure I have my name here. And we're good to go. So the assignment starts out with Jaden Keller manages the lawn and garden departments at Hargrove Home Improvement Stores throughout the Pacific Northwest. He has created an Excel workbook to track inventory and details about the stock at one of the stores. And he has asked you to complete the calculations in the workbook. So we're going to go to the inventory worksheet right here. And in B3, so I'll go to B3, whichever it is here is B3. And we're going to insert the date function. So I'm just going to click here and type in date, which is actually the very first one. And the year is 2021, and it'll be 5/5. Click OK. Now notice that it puts in the actual number of days, but it's not formatted to date. That's why you see it. Here is formatted to date. And again, with the Mac, you should probably just see the 21. So in cell E5, we're going to insert a formula. And it wants us to insert a formula using a function that multiplies the wholesale price by the markup amount. The markup is 1.35. So we're going to equals the wholesale price times the markup. Now it's important that you use, let's go back to this, times L3. It's important that you use absolute reference. So when you copy down, it's always going to be L3. So I'll hit F4 there and we're good to go. And let's see, it says fill the range E6 to E15 without formatting. So remember, use right click, not left click, and drag down. And when you release it, it's going to give you the pop-up choose fill without formatting. If you don't do it that way, what will happen, you'll miss all these green bars here. And don't choose this one here, just do the right one. When you go down and fill it, you can actually do the without formatting when you fill it, but use the right click and you won't have that problem. So that takes care of number 2 and I believe number 3. No, actually number 3 we need to do. So we need to go to F5 and we're going to get the retail price, which actually is what I should have done in number 2. So I will go back and fix that. So on-hand value is going to be in D5. So we want to do a formula that multiplies the amount on hand in D5 by B5. Okay, so equals on hand times the wholesale price. And let's do this again. All right, so now we got it. So now we can do equals the wholesale price times the markup, hitting F4, and we have the 1418, and we'll do the right click, drag down, fill without formatting. So now we're done with, hopefully I did not miss a step, number 2 and number 3. Unfortunately, I'm looking back and forth and talking at the same time, so it's easy for me to move on ahead. So number 4 in column H, Jaden wants to explain how long the plants have been in inventory, which is the number of days between the current date and the stock date. So here's our days in inventory. So what we need to do is we need to subtract the current date and take the current date and subtract the stock date from that. So let's go and choose equals. And if you get the wrong number, then all you have to do is reverse them. So remember, we need to use F4 because we want it always to be in B3, and we will subtract the stock date. And that will give us a number of days. So this has been in inventory 33 days. And we'll drag down and do the fill without formatting. So that takes care of number H, I believe. Number in I, we want to find out if we're going to reorder. So he wants to display a reminder to reorder plants if the store has 10 or fewer plants. So here is I5. So we're using an if function. And don't hit the enter key, double click. So here's our if. So the first part is we're testing to see if the on hand is less than or equal to 10. So here is on hand, less than or equal to 10. If so, then we're going to put in a yes. Otherwise, we're going to put in a no. So I'm putting in a capital Y. I do not need to put in the quotes. Otherwise, we're going to put in an N. And I don't need the quotes. And the answer here is no. So we'll drag this down again. Fill without formatting. Perfect. That was number 5. And number 6, Jaden puts plants on sale if they have been in inventory for 40 days or more, and the store is not reordering more plants of that type. So let's go to column J, and we're going to use an AND function. So here's AND. And the very first thing is I5 is equal to N. So I'm going to type I5 equals. Now, in this particular case, you need to put in the quotes because we want to make sure that it equals to actually the letter N. And if that's true, we're good to go. So then we're going to do an H5 is greater than 40. So H5 is greater than 40. So 1 is true, but 1 is not. So we're going to click on OK, and that gives us false. So then I will fill down and fill without formatting. And that takes care of number 7. And let's go and see what we look like in here. So I have 33, 54, 65. I'm looking at my end over here. And we have false, false, true. So you can see what it looks like over here. And we're looking pretty good. You know, I always recommend looking at what they tell you just to make sure that you're in good shape. So number 8, Jaden likes to track details about the plants in inventory. So we're going to click on C18. And it wants us to use a count A to count the number of plants. So we'll use a count A. And let's see, there's count A. And notice it counts the number of range in the cells that are not empty in here. So that means it has something in it, obviously. And we're doing A5 to A15. And that gives us 11. Then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that worked out good. So now we're going to do the average function from D5 to D15, which is the average on hand. So we'll just go to average and select on hand here. So the average on hand is 14. And let's see what we want to do now. So we're going to enter, we're going to round up the average that displays the function. So let's do it. We'll do it both ways. So we want to do the average for F15, F5 to F15. So here's F5 to F15. And we're going to click OK. So now we want to do the round up. So I'm typing ROUND, and here's our round up. And that gave me an error because I didn't double click. So let's put round up and type up there. And I'll double click this time. And we're going to round up to with 1 decimal place. And that gives us 2020. And let's see what we need to do there. Workbook should look like that, and 2020. And looks like everything looks good. So that will take care of it. And hopefully this was helpful for you. So let me end the video right now. I'm actually missing the garden club. I missed one in here. So your workbook should have been there. I missed the garden club, which would be L. In cell L5, we're going to do an OR. And it tells us that the quality rating equals A. So that means K5 equals, make sure you put in the quotes, and also I5 equals Y. So I5 equals Y. And we have true. And fill without formatting. So let me go back in here. So we have true, true, false, true, true, false, false. So everything looks good. That is everything for this video. So hopefully this is very helpful for you.